Hello, everybody. It's Caesar. Hope you're having a fantastic day and your life is joyous and happy and beautiful and merry. But let's get down to it. The reason I'm making this video is because a lot of people recently have been asking me to help them free up a lot of their equity. And uh, and while I'd love to be able to help everyone, the truth is that not everybody is a candidate. And probably the most important factor is the value of your house. Why is that a factor? Because if you owe more than what your house is worth, which means you're underwater, that's a primary qualifier for us to be able to do that for you. So I'm making this informative video for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how to accurately determine the value of your house. And I'm going to show you how to do it just as well, if not better, than any realtor or an appraiser. And we're going to do this by using a few simple but free tools that are on the internet. Okay, so anybody has access to these. You don't have to pay $1 million a year to get the MLS like I do, and you don't need to be an appraiser and go to school for 7 years. And so, thank goodness for that, right? Okay, so let's do this. I want you to go to a website called Redfin.com. Okay, and Redfin is actually it's basically a website where they have um, all the listings that are up on the market right now. Okay. It's just like the MLS. In fact, all the homes for sale in the MLS. It's just a search engine, but it's really well done. I really like it. And there's some cool tools on there that we're going to use right now. So go there, go to redfin.com. I have it for you right here. As soon as you get to Redfin, you'll see this page. Okay, this is the opening page. And now, hopefully, you're in California like we are, like I am. But if you're not, you could actually use this for other homes in other states. I think that the pins represent the areas that they do, and the ones that don't have them are just out of luck. Sorry. But if you want to find out, just click on Can't Find Your City, and it'll tell you they have a list of all the counties and states and areas that they do this. Anyway, getting back to us. Now, you'll notice this little piece, this little tab right here. It says Price Your Home. Don't click on that. What they're going to do is they're going to do all this work for you, but it's not going to be as accurate. Okay, I've already tried it, and it's not as good. You could do it if you're feeling a little bit lazy. You don't want to do the whole work because it will take you a little while to do it. But if you really want an accurate determination, do what I'm going to show you right now. Enter your address, and I'm going to put in an address here. It's not my home. It's a property that I know of, and I don't live in Downey. And but don't go knocking on the door and say that you got this address off of this video either, okay? 'Cause, they might not really like it, and then they're gonna call me and they're gonna say, "Hey, Caesar, why'd you give our address?" And I'm gonna say, "Geez, I thought it would be all right." But anyway, let's go back here. Where it says price, leave it alone because what we're doing, okay, and I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier, but to determine the price in your house, okay, and this is what every realtor is gonna do and any appraiser is gonna do. They're gonna look at the properties that have sold in your neighborhood. And what they're going to do is they're going to take those properties that are nearest and as closely related to your property. And those are called comparable sales, okay, because the properties are comparable. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to make a list of all the comparable properties in your neighborhood, and we're going to come up with a value based on those. Okay, so the obviously you can't put a price range because you're trying to determine the price, but you can do this part. If your home is whatever bedroom count it is, just click on it. Okay, click whatever home count your bedroom is. For in this particular case, Richmond Avenue, the uh, the home is a three-bedroom home, and then go to the bathrooms. It's a two-bedroom. It's a two-bathroom home as well, but don't put the exact bathroom count. Actually, go a little bit lower. So if you have a two-bedroom, I'm sorry, a two-bathroom house, go to 1.25. If you have a four-bathroom house, you have a nice house, go to three. Okay, the reason I'm telling you this is because it's going to give you a few more comparables, and the difference in value between bathrooms is not that great. It's not a big deal. So, I'm sure when you're buying it, it kind of makes a big deal to you whether you want the house. But in actuality, when it comes down to the value of the property, it's not that big a deal. So I'm going to go to 1.25. And I'm going to click on search listings. There we go. Okay. So the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see a little house with your address, and it's going to click right to it. So this is where Richland Avenue is located on this map. But if you'll notice, there aren't any comparables. What happened? Okay, well, we're not done yet. We have a little bit to go. And I'm going to try to make it quick because I don't want this video to be an hour long. So we're leaving the price alone, and we already put in our values. Now, this is what we're going to do next. You see here where it says more options? You can either click on this, or over here where it says change search options. You can click on either one. So let's click on it. And here it's going to bring up all the search criteria basically that Redfin has as a default setting. Very quickly, click your property type. You have a house, so get rid of condo, townhome. These are not comparable properties, obviously. Redfin is made for people that are looking for properties that are for sale. Okay, but they also have a little section here where you can click on to get all the properties that have already sold. So go ahead and click on sale records and get rid of the other ones. And normally you want the properties that have sold in the last 3 months. Okay, but I did this a little earlier on this property, and I noticed that there weren't that many sales in the last 3 months. So you can go as far back as 6 months. All right, but ideally you want anywhere between 5 and 10 comparable properties for you to be looking at. Okay, so that's why I picked 6 months back. Don't go any farther than 6 months, because if you do, those aren't really comparable. Since real estate is dynamic, it changes all the time. Values go up and down. If you go back 6 months, it's just not it's not good. You're not going to have an accurate count. So next thing we got to do, now we have to determine the square footage. Okay, now we want a range for the square footage, and the range on the square footage is anywhere 15% from your actual square footage. Okay, plus or minus 15%. So the square footage you'll see right here on the right, it's 1,293 square feet. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate that. So at 1,293 square feet, I'm going to multiply that by 0.85. That's 15% lower than 1,293. And I get a value of 1099. Okay, so let's go back here and insert that value here. Now they don't have, it's a drop-down menu, so you're not going to be able to put the accurate number, but get close as possible. 1,000 is fine. Now we're going to do the max. In this case, 1293 times, now you do 1.15, which is 15% higher, and you're going to get 1486. And let's look at here, 1500. Perfect. Okay. Lot size, leave it alone, because if you look here, the lot size, they're all pretty much the same. I mean, you know, the difference, it's not going to be that great. There's not that much difference, and I'm pretty sure in your neighborhood it's going to be the same. Now, if you know in your neighborhood there's a big difference in your square footage for the lot, you might want to put a range there, but I wouldn't mess with it. Parking, that means how many, you know, what kind of parking do you have? Forget about it. Year built, don't worry about it too much. HOA is homeowners association, and unless you live in a condo, homeowners association fees are not that important to you. In fact, you may not even have them if you have a house. And the only properties that I know that are houses that have homeowners associations are planned urban developments, which are newer developments where you know, basically you have a group of homes and everybody pays a little bit towards a homeowners association to make sure, you know, the grass is cut and, you know, the neighborhood looks nice, and they have a neighborhood watch and whatnot. Okay, if you don't, leave it alone. Just that's it. Okay, nothing else here to change. So, oh shoot, look at this. It totally redid my stuff. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay. All right, now we're back. All right, square footage is good. Everything's good. Bedroom count is good. Perfect. Update search. Fantastic. I think I didn't do that last time, and that's why it didn't update it for me. Okay, so now we still don't have any comparables. How are we going to do that? Well, right here where it says show all homes on map, go ahead and click on that. And all of a sudden, there's nothing there. Why? We have to zoom out. Okay, so zoom out once, and now you have some more comparables to see. Zoom it out again. That's good. Actually, this is perfect. See, and let me explain a little something to you. In this case, for Richland Avenue, I want the properties that are in this little square here, this little area. The reason being is that I know the neighborhood, and I know that this street, Paramount Boulevard, is actually a really major street, and all the properties on this side, on the east side of Paramount Boulevard, are a little bit different. You know, the prices are a little bit different. It's a different neighborhood. Same thing goes for under this major street, which is Florence Avenue. Lots of different homes here. You know, I'm not saying that they're better or worse at all. The only thing is we want this little section, and I already know that there's about 7 properties in this section that would fit perfectly for us as comparables. Same thing over the river. In fact, I think it's a different city. This is an estuary of the LA River, and you know, I know that the properties on this side of the river are priced differently. So it's not a good comparable neighborhood. You want a comparable neighborhood. And so we're going to stick with this section here. But unfortunately, Redfin doesn't have any option for you to be able to delete any comparable properties from your search. So we're going to go with the next best thing, which is a tool that they have for free, which is fantastic. And it's right down here where it says download. You can actually download a spreadsheet of these comparable properties. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to use Excel for me because I'm using Windows. If you have a Mac, it's going to do something totally different. I don't know what program you have for Mac, but I'm sure it's very similar. You can go ahead and save this because this is something that you're going to use for your own home. I'm not going to save it right now because I'm doing this as a demonstration. So go ahead and open that up and look at that. Now we have these properties here that are your comparable properties. Isn't that great? So now look, we have a bunch of a bunch of information here. Sorry for that buzzing sound if you heard it. There are a few things here that we're not going to need. For example, past sale. We know it's a past sale. Home type. They're all single family. Just get rid of that. Same thing with the state. They're all in California. I don't need to know that. That's their zip code. Who cares? You see here, Bell Gardens. All of them say Downey. This one says Bell Gardens. I don't want that one. I'm going to delete it. Okay. Um, List price. All right. This is the price that the property was listed for. This is not going to help you in your comparable sales because what you're looking at and you're looking for are the comparable sale prices, not what it was listed for. So this is not pertinent. We're going to delete it. Bedrooms and baths, keep them. Now this little section here says location. For this one, it says, you know, Northwest Downey, North. Okay, you don't need this stuff either. Okay, it's not going to help you right now. We know that we're all in the same little neighborhood, and it's really not going to help you with your value. Next, parking. This means how much parking do you have? Find garage parking. All right. This days on the market. You don't need it. Next open house date. Don't need that. Next open house start time, end time. Let's get rid of all those. Delete. Same thing with this. Recent reduction date. Okay, what does that mean? Before you delete it, I'm going to tell you what it means. When this house was listed at the original listing price, which is right here, they changed the listing price from $399 to whatever else on this date, or this date, or this date, or this date. Okay, that's what it means. Recent reduction date. Not important to you. You want to get rid of it. Last sale date. This is important to you. This means when did it sell? When did it sell? Get rid of that. See, sale date. Same thing here. Let's change the date. I'm sorry. Let's change the label. This is the sales price. Get rid of the last sale price and just sales price. And we're going to make this numbers. Here we go. So now it looks like numbers for us. URL, forget about it. Get rid of it. Delete. Source, this other thing, listing ID, original source, favorite, interested, latitude, longitude, just not pertinent. Get rid of it. All right. Now, here it's going to say, is it a short sale? Some of them say true. This one and this one were short sales. Okay. Well, what does that mean? What is a short sale? A short sale is a property that had to sell for less than what it, or I'm sorry, it had to sell for less than what was owed on it. Okay, so the mortgage was much higher than the value. And if this is your situation, or if you don't know, that's why we're doing this exercise. Okay, so now we're going to add a few more labels here. I want you to add condition. Here, the next one, I'm going to ask you to add price per square foot. And here, I want you to add REO. Okay, what is REO? REO stands for real estate owned. Real estate owned means that the bank took it back. When the house foreclosed, nobody bid on the property or nobody bid enough, and the bank ended up with the property. And so it's bank owned, and it's on their spreadsheet of real estate owned, and that's why it's called REO. Okay, so once we've done this a little bit, let's open this up. In fact, they're all in Downy, so I can get rid of this too. Delete. Okay, so now look at what we did. We just shortened up all this to be in one little section so we don't have to keep going back and forth, right and left. All right, let's go back to our web page. So now here we are on redfin.com. Like I said, remember, we did not have a way to delete these properties from our list. So let's start from the first one. Quinn, where is Quinn? Quinn. Can I see it? Quinn is right here on the bottom. So it's under Florence. We don't want that. Okay. Let's go back to our spreadsheet and let's look for Quinn. Here's Quinn. Delete it. Next. We look for Ciro. Ciro's there. What about this one? Reeves. Great. 9512 Reeves. Primrose. Primrose is not. See, it's east of Paramount. We don't want that one. What about the next one? Horley. Horley is under Florence. South of Florence. We don't want it. So we have Primrose, Horley. What about this other Reeves? Oh, it's under Florence. Don't want it either. You got to remember there's two Reeves. So this one is 10239. The other one was with the 9512. Okay. Next, Hopeland. Oh, also south. Fry. Fry is west of the river. We don't want that one either. Okay, so we have a bunch altogether. So where did we start at? It was Primrose, Horley, Reeves, Hopeland, Fry. Okay, let's go ahead and check those out. Primrose, Hopeland, Reeves, Horley, and what was the last one? Okay, whatever they were. This one, and this one. And we're going to delete those. Delete. Okay. Gosh, what was the other one? I've totally forgot. See, too many to remember. Hopeland, Reeves, Horley, Primrose. I am at a loss. Oh, Fry. We got rid of Fry from the beginning because it said, that's right. I apologize. Okay, let's go on. So, what are we next? Guatemala. Okay, it's right here. It's in our little box. Suva, also in there. Dinsdale. Oh, Dinsdale is outside our area. Let's get rid of it. Dinsdale. You're out, buddy. Delete. Okay, and I think the next one was Brook Park. I'm just going to do it for you. Get rid of it. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 properties that are all in our little area of searching. Next, what are we going to do? So now we're going to go to the first one. Let's go back to our list. And I'm going to click on these and I'm going to sort them by name. And here we go. First one is Ciro. Ciro. Here it is. Ciro. Click on the picture. What that's going to do is it's going to bring up this property for you in a brand new page. And now this is the next part of the exercise. Now we're going to figure out two things. One, we're going to figure out what the condition of the property is. And see, remember Redfin gets all the property data from the MLS? Well, the fantastic part about that is, one, you have all the pictures that are here come directly from the MLS. The agents took the photographs from inside the house so you could take a look at what these properties look like. Isn't that great? The next thing is, you see this section here of writing right here, this little comments section. Well, these comments come directly from the MLS as well. These are the comments that the agent put on the MLS for other people to describe the property and to try to sell it, of course. These are the public comments. There's two sections in the MLS. One are the public comments like this, and then there's another one just for realtors. No one else can see, and those are private comments. And because no one else can see them, they're not going to show them to you. If you scroll down a little bit on the page, you'll also see a bunch of other information. This all also comes from the MLS. Now, the only pertinent information here that I think you should be looking at is right here, listing information. Oops, this little section right here, and we want the special conditions. And this one happens to be a real estate owned. It's an REO. Remember, we put that little section of on our spreadsheet for REO. So now we know that it's we can determine the condition, and we also know that this property is an REO. So let's look at the pictures. All right, this is the front of the house. Also another picture of the front. Not too bad. Grass is a little dead. That's okay. Bathroom, it's a little outdated. Um, Same thing with the kitchen. Cabinets are old. It's got this little kind of ugly carpet. Okay, so you can see bathroom needs updating. The house needs updating. It needs updating. The house is not in fantastic condition. So we're going to go here, condition, 0. We're going to say needs updating. And next section, in fact, you know what? I want to switch these. I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to put it right here. So next time you do your thing, make sure you put a condition and REO. The reason is it makes it a lot easier. Isn't it REO? Yes, it is. Okay, next. Now we're going to go to the next properties. And let's see. Next property is 9512 Reeves Avenue. Okay, let's get in here. 9512 Reeves. Okay, photographs. How does it look? It looks all right. How's that? That's not too great. Okay, I mean it's not that bad, but it's not that great either. Let's look at the kitchen. Kitchen doesn't look that great either. You know, what is this? Tile, different color cabinets. Yeah, I would say this needs updating. You know, someone that buys this property or wants to buy this property is going to look at this and say, you know what? It's not a total piece of crap, excuse my French, but it's not fantastic. You know, I probably want to update this. So let's go to our spreadsheet. Oh, wait. Is it REO? Let's look. Listing information. It's an REO. Okay, see? Let's go to Reeves right here. That's where it was. Needs updating. And since it was an REO, we're going to type in REO right there. Okay, on to the next. And we're going to keep doing this. And so now I guess, you know, hopefully we got the gist of it already. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue and do the rest of this exercise. And you should do it too. But because we don't want to have a 35-hour video, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to pause the video right now, and I'll magically be back with it completely finished. How about that? Okay, so I'll see you in a sec. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome back. And as you can see now, we have added the conditions in the REO, yes or no, to all these properties that we're looking at. Okay, so now we're going to do the next section. Okay, let's get rid of this parking garage. Bam. Okay. Remember I asked you to type in price per square foot. Now we're going to determine price per square foot. So how do we do this? Well, this is Excel. I'm going to show you how to do it on Excel. If you don't have Excel and you use another spreadsheet, you know, just try to follow along. I'm pretty sure you have the same or very similar functions. But this is how we do it. So type in equals, and now we're going to take our price per square foot, and we're going to divide it with this little slash or dash sign, slash sign. And we're going to take the square footage, and then we're going to divide it, and we're going to press enter, and here we go. So this particular property sold for $231.19 per square foot. How about that? Now, I could do the same thing over and over, but I got a little shortcut. Just drag this down like that, and magically, all of them have the same function already in there. Great. Okay. Now that you have the price per square foot on these properties, okay, now what? So what, right? Price per square foot? Okay. Well, price per square foot is actually a very good determiner on values. Now, it's not perfect because, you know, sometimes houses sell for a little more than what they should or a little less than what they should. So, you know, that could have an impact on the price per square foot, but it's a good indicator. And so I'm going to show you how to do that, and that way it could help you come up with the value. Now, like I told you, you know, the reason that we were doing these conditions here, actually, I didn't tell you why, but the reason we're doing these conditions here, why the property condition is because, um, you know, depending on the condition of the property, um, the sales price is going to change. Okay, so there's actually two reasons. Well, there's various reasons, but the two that we have here is the condition of the property and also whether it was an REO or not. Okay, but let's look at condition first. So the condition of the property, we've you know, grouped them together so that'll be a little easier for us to see. So let's do this. So property that needs updating. Let's do that first. Actually, let's do the one that's good. In good condition. Good condition, we have one for 295, the other one for 269. Okay. Good condition property. I'm going to type in the word good. And right here, because we have more than one, which one do you pick, right? Let's get the average. So I'm going to type in my little function here, and we're going to click on this one, and then we're going to type in colon, and then we're going to click on the next one, and end parentheses, and we're typing enter, and this, friends, is the average of the two. For good condition properties, this is the average square footage for good condition properties. Properties that are in average condition, well, let's do that for them. Let's do the same thing, and we're going to go and click on the ones that say average, and we're going to do that here. Here we go, $251. See, it's $30 less per square foot when it's in average condition. How about that? If it needs updating, looks like it's even less. So let's try that. Needs updating NU. How about that? Equals average here through here. Enter. It is a little less, almost $10 a square foot less. Okay, very good. So properties that are in average condition. I'm sorry, properties that need updating. The average sales price or price per square footage is $243 per square foot. Okay, now look, let me show you something very important. Because you may rearrange these just like you saw me do the sorting earlier. If you do this, it's going to skew these numbers for you. So why don't you go ahead, because these have values. If you look here, it has this function right here, the formula. Oh shoot! See, messed up the formula. Just type it in. $282.43 for that one. This one is $251.93, and the next one is $243.13. Okay, this will keep it from skewing it for you, and you know, you'll thank me later. Trust me. In fact, let's get rid of those. Okay, now remember we were talking about REOs, so we want to sort these by REO as well. So let's do that right now. So now we have all the properties that are REO right here. In fact, let me mark them as, oops, that was the writing. I'm sorry. Let's highlight them in red. Okay, these are REO properties. So let's get the average square footage for those. REO properties, average square footage. Let's do the same thing. Average for these two. And that's going to come out to $236.04. And let's get rid of that. Okay, see, so REO properties are actually selling for even less than just properties that need updating. And that makes complete sense because properties that are REOs or bank-owned properties, it's not necessarily always that they're in bad condition, although the majority of them are. It's that most of the buyers that purchase REO properties are looking for a bargain. So most of the time they're cash buyers, or you know, sometimes there's regular buyers too that are able to get them. But most of the time they're looking for a deal, right? It's a bank-owned property, it's a foreclosure, nobody lives in it. Sometimes, you know, they're gutted or, you know, they're in totally bad condition. So they must sell for less. I mean, that's just the mentality of the market. And so I'd say on average, REO properties sell for about 15% less than other homes. Sometimes it's even more, you know. So anyway, I digress. But it's good to see this. So now, okay, your home value. Very simply, since we have a spreadsheet, we don't have to do the math ourselves. All we do is we take this square footage and we're going to multiply it by, I'm sorry, price per square footage, and we're going to multiply it by your square footage. So whatever your square footage is, type it in right now. In this case, it was $1,293 for Richion. So we get a value of $365,181.99. That's the value. Okay, so now let's look at the properties that were in good condition. So they're grouped right here, right? These are the values for these properties, good condition properties. One on Suva and one in Guatemala. They sold for 370, which is very similar to the value you just got by doing the square footage, the average square footage for properties in good condition. How about that? Okay, so if we want to do the rest of them, just drag this down like that, and it just does it very handy dandy for you. And you get to see properties that are in average condition. They would if your house was in average condition, you would probably, your value might be around 325. If it needs a lot of updating, you'd be at 314,000, so on and so forth. Okay, so now that you have that there, is that the end all be all about the value in your home? Not at all. Okay, it's not, because we have these sales right here. Okay, and just like I showed you a second ago, that these properties in good condition sold for 370. You should go for all of them and check out all of them too. Like for example, this average house sold for 375, which is more than the good condition home. They had a good agent; they sold it very well. But that's how you would do this. If you have an average house, let's look at all the average. You have 375, 350. Is it 325? No. But the reason it's a little bit less is probably because of the square footage. Um, but you see, you could probably say, hey, yeah, I have an average house and it should be worth around 350 to 375. If you have a property that needs updating, you're looking at these three. Maybe it's anywhere between 317 and 335. So you could say, yeah, my house is worth around 320, 325. You get the gist, okay? But that's how a realtor or an appraiser would come up with these values. So I hope this helped you out. I hope that now you know whether you are underwater or not. If you are underwater and you also have a second mortgage, well, I might be able to help you. And, this was a good qualifier for you to see if you might be a good candidate. So I have a ton more information that I could give you, and I'd love for you to have it. So the way for you to access all that information is just to type in your name and your email on the little fill-in form on the next to this video, and that way you'll get right over to our section with more info. Okay, and I hope to see you there. If not, doesn't matter. I hope this video was fantastic for you, and you could use it for many years to come. Okay, take care. I hope you have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you soon.